was browsing on YouTube Studio trying to get some ideas for a new video that I could potentially do this Saturday, and I came across something that was very interesting. There are a lot of people who seem to be interested in learning how to build a character in Wuthering Waves, which is very surprising. So I decided that since this is something that a lot of people are interested in, let's turn it into one of those occasional guides that I always talk about in my videos. So with that said, let's get into the video. So for this video, we'll be building the Shorekeeper, who is currently on a rerun right now, and I have not gotten her on this account. So I'll poll for her and I'll actually build her. So if you actually don't know how to even get a new character in Wuthering Waves, just do exactly what I was doing on screen and you'll be able to do that. But I also want to set some ground rules while we're here. One is that for this entire video, I'm only going to be focusing on building characters. I'm not going to talk about building teams. The main and only focus for this video is to be able to build your characters. And I'll cover things like what you should focus on, in what order should you focus on them, how can you get the things that you need to build the characters, and so on. So with all of that being said, if you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, including news videos, challenge videos, lore videos, and then, like I said before, the guides are occasional, but they will come from time to time. And with all that being said, let's properly get back into the video.
The Shorekeeper. This name suits me well enough. It aligns with my purpose and drive. They only exist because of you.
Now, in the little bit of time that I've spent in the gacha community, there are two things that I've come across which form the basis of how I build any characters in any of these games, be them Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves. They're called guaranteed and unguaranteed upgrades. So anytime that I'm trying to build a character in any of these games, Wuthering Waves inclusive, I always start off by focusing on the guaranteed upgrades. These guaranteed upgrades are the character level, the character weapon, and the character talent, or the Forte circuits in this case. After that, then I can focus on the unguaranteed upgrades, which are always the echoes or the artifacts, the things that you will have to farm for over and over and over to get as close to perfect as possible. So with that said, let's get to the first guaranteed upgrade, the character level. Now, every character in Wuthering Waves has a maximum level of level 90, and if your union level is not up to union level 60 and ascended, then you will not be able to level up your characters to level 90, and you will see an error like this appear on your screen when you reach the maximum level that your character can possibly reach. If that's the case, you don't need to panic. Just consider that as the maximum level that you can go right now, and then move on to the next thing on the list. Now, when it comes to actually leveling up the characters, you will need character experience potions in order to be able to level up your characters as fast as possible. Another way to level up your characters is just to use the characters to fight enemies in the open world, but that will take way too long. This is why the experience potions exist. And for you to be able to get the experience potions, you will need to farm for them. And the best way to know where to farm for them is to just tap the experience material that you need and scroll down. You will see this little thing here. Just click that and it will take you to where you can actually farm for the things that you need. Another thing that you will need for character leveling is Ascension materials. These Ascension materials will only appear when the character has reached the maximum level that they can possibly go. So if your character is level 40, then you will need to get these materials in order to be able to unlock the ability to go up to level 50. Just for some clarity, the XP materials will help you get from level 40 to 50, but your character will not have the ability to reach level 50 if they don't have the Ascension materials. I really hope that makes sense. So with that being said, let me now get the Shorekeeper up to level 90. Now that we're done with the character's level, let's now talk about the next tab over here, which is the character's weapon. Now, for those of you who don't know, in Wuthering Waves, there are different weapons that are available for characters to use. There are swords, there are broad blades, there are gauntlets, there are rectifiers, and there are guns. These 5 weapon types are the different weapons that every character can have, but every character cannot equip every kind of weapon that is available in the game. So for example, the Shorekeeper is a rectifier character, and as such, the Shorekeeper cannot equip any other type of weapon. So how do you know which weapon is the best for your character? Go to YouTube, type in the name of the character, build guide, and then just watch a video on it. Look at the weapon section and then you will see recommendations for weapons that you can use. Most weapons in the game will be gotten by pulling in the gacha banner, which is what you're seeing me doing right now as I'm talking over this. But there are some free weapons which will also be mentioned in those videos. And by the way, I forgot to mention this, but for 5-star characters, every single time that they rerun, they will also rerun with their weapon. And most times, not all the time, but most times, the weapon that they rerun with is normally their best weapon. So if you really don't want to go over to YouTube, you can actually just look for what limited weapon is supposed to come with that character, and that will most likely be the best weapon for that character. After you've gotten the weapon that you need for the character, the next thing you need to do is to equip it on that character and level up that weapon to level 90, because the maximum level for weapons is also level 90. And much like before, you will also need experience materials and ascension materials in order to be able to get the weapons all the way up to level 90. Now there's one thing I want to add. When I was talking about the character levels and how to get the ascension materials that you need and also the experience potions, I didn't mention one other way that you can actually get these materials. It's synthesis. So if you click over here, you will most likely see this option for synthesis, and you'll be asking, what exactly is this? So let me quickly explain what it is. There are 2 types of synthesis that can happen in the game. One is purification and the other is conversion. So synthesis purification is the one that you will use the most. And just to be clear, I don't recommend this if you don't fully understand it. When you actually understand what it does, then you can actually go ahead to try to do this. But essentially, synthesis purification allows you to combine lower level materials to make a higher level material. That's the simplest way to explain it. And synthesis conversion allows you to convert one other material that you've had before into a material that you need. Okay? Synthesis purification will take lower level materials of the same type to make a higher level one of the one that you need. While synthesis conversion will take a different material and convert it into the material that you need. I really hope that was straightforward and easy for you to understand. But with that said, let me quickly get the weapon up to level 90 and let's move on. So let's talk about the Forte circuit next. So for those of you who don't understand what the Forte circuit is, it's very, very simple. You know how in some games you have the ability to upgrade certain moves or upgrade certain things about your character in order to make them deal more damage. That's exactly the same thing that's happening here. For example, this tab over here allows you to increase the amount of damage that your normal attacks do. This tab will allow you to increase the amount of damage that your Forte circuit does, and so on and so forth. Now, this is the next thing that you should definitely focus on after you're done with the character's level and the character's weapon. You can actually technically focus on this while you're also building up the others. But I personally like to focus on the weapon and the character levels before I get to this. There are 5 things here that you can upgrade. But just because there are 5 things here to upgrade doesn't mean that you have to upgrade all 5 things for your characters. There are some characters who may never benefit from having a stronger normal attack, while there are characters who will benefit very, very much from having a higher normal attack, while they may not actually benefit from having a stronger resonance vibration or a resonance skill or anything. So it is very important that you understand which one of these skills is important to your character and you level them up. And the best way to do that is, like I said before, watch a YouTube video. It's really the simplest way to do it. Just watch a YouTube video and look at the talent priority section. in this section, you will most likely see the things that are most important for your characters. Now, after you've found out what exactly is the most optimal thing for your character, then you should try to get that skill up to level 10, if possible. If not, then try to get it up to at least level 8 or level 9. You don't actually have to max it out, but it is quite important. And also, while you're upgrading these, also try to get the other things that are in the skill tree. All of these other nodes over here are also very important. It is very important that you unlock all of them. It will seriously bring out the best in your character. And if you want to know where in this tree you should start, you should definitely start in the middle. The middle one has the most important functions for the character that you're trying to upgrade. Now, after you're done with all of these things, the only thing that is remaining is echo farming. Now, there are different echo sets that are available in the game, and echoes on their own can basically take up an entire video, and I'm sure there are multiple videos on YouTube that will actually explain this for you, but let me give a very shortened summary. You want to look for echoes that have a set effect that complements your character's abilities. Now, if you're not someone who likes to read, then all you just have to do is go to a YouTube video, look at the guide, and they will suggest echo sets that are good for you. Go and farm those echo sets along with the correct stats for those echo sets, and you will be good to go. By the way, pay attention, the stats are very, very important. Now, as a general rule of thumb, for most DPS characters, you will want to have crit rate and crit damage on at least 3 out of the 5 echoes that you have on that. The most optimal thing would be to have crit rate and crit damage on every single piece, but if you can't, then just try to get it in like 3 to 4. Now, if you want more details on this, there are multiple videos on YouTube. I'll probably link some in the description that you can actually go and watch to get a better idea of echo farming. But if you follow everything that I've talked about in this video, then your characters will start to show their maximum potential. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.